Hey Facebook, happy Friday. I hope all is going well for you guys out there. Today our Facebook Live is going to be on dermal fillers. We actually have Barb back, who we did last week with BOTOX. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, make sure you check that out last week with BOTOX. And this week we're going to go ahead and kind of work our way down with her. She expressed to us that she wanted the BOTOX done, maybe to have some fillers, and then to also do Sculptra in her lower face. So we're going to be trying to do a 3-part series with her to get her all ready for her son's wedding. And just before we start, just to let you know, so most syringes for derma filler range between $650 to $900 per syringe. So that is, so let me reiterate, it's per syringe. So usually having derma fillers can be any range from 1 syringe, which is not usually practical, but it can, and 2 to 4 is a good mix, sometimes 6 depending on how much correction needs. So we're looking at any range from $650 to $4,000 to have derma filler depending on the correction needed for your face. So we're going to go ahead and do that today. We're also going to pick our Facebook winner from last week, and we also have a really cool special announcement. So if you have any questions, make sure you comment below, and we will try to answer as many as you can. We hope you enjoy dermal filler. Here we go. Hello.
Howdy.
We're ready.
Okay,
They
good.
want to see dermal
All
fillers.
Right. Dermal fillers. So today we're going to be working with Barb again. We had her, when was it, 2 weeks ago, a week ago?
Yeah, a week ago.
A week ago. So what we're going to do with Barb is she's interested in dermal fillers, and whenever we do that, we have a whole armamentarium of different types of dermal fillers that we can use depending upon what we're trying to achieve. So when we start to look at Barb, the first thing we want to do is we want to kind of analyze her face and get an idea of where we're going to work. And on her, we've identified a couple areas that we think we want to do. Now, she's got great bone structure, but we start to notice a little bit of the skin sagging through here and a little bit of volume loss through the mid-face area. And this is pretty common as we age. We lose volume, we lose fat, the bone resorbs a little bit, the fat resorbs. So we start to see things that we didn't see before. So one of the ways that we're going to rejuvenate it is to restore some of that volume. So on Barb's face, we can see that there's a hollow through here. And then also as that volume, we lose that volume, things start to go south. So you start to see nasolabial folds that get a little deep, and then you start to see these little jowls. So one of the things we're going to do with her today is use a filler that's going to come into this kind of cheek area here, kind of a triangular area here that we're going to volumize for her to get a little bit of a lift, give some definition through here, and that'll help the nasolabial folds. And we're going to do that on both sides. And I'm going to stay off her eyelid with it. But there's kind of this triangular zone right here that we want to volumize to try to fill that skin, lift up the jowl a little bit, and then we'll come in, depending upon what kind of result we get there, and then perhaps put a little bit of a filler in the nasolabial folds. Now, fillers typically occupy a couple of different strata. So we have the hyaluronic acid fillers, which is basically a gel, and they have different compounds where some of the gel's thicker, some of it's thinner, depending upon where we're going to use it in the body. For instance, if we're going to put gel in the lips, we want a thinner and a more malleable type of gel. But when we're using it up in this area, we want a little bit more structural. We want something that's going to give a little more volume and hold on a little bit longer. So we're going to use today a product called Voluma. It's Juvederm Voluma, and it's got a lot more cross links in it. It makes it a thicker, firmer gel, and it's a hyaluronic acid product, and we're going to put it in here, and it's moldable, and it's very nice in the mid-face. Now, some of our other options would be, for instance, through the mid-face area, we could use something that's more what we call collagen inductive. These These are injectables that have like little particles in them. They could be polyl-lactic acid particles. They can be hydroxyapatite particles that we would use, say, with Radiesse. And what they do is we inject the particles in there, and then the particles induce collagen to form and plump up the skin that way. So we're not doing that today. We're just going to put Voluma in there, which is a hyaluronic acid, and it typically lasts about a year in this area. It's very easy to inject, and it really, you can see it almost immediately. We're going to stick to these triangular areas, and then what I'm going to do is really, these lines tend to be very they need a lot of structure. So we will use something like Radiesse today, here in the nasolabial folds, here and here. So that's about it for today. Now the Voluma is what we call hydrophilic. In other words, it is attracted to water. So if I were to use something like Sculpture or something like that has a water base, I'm going to do that in stages. I'm not going to do it today because I'm going to put the Voluma in today, and then perhaps the Sculpture in at a different time for her.
So we do have a question.
Uh-oh.
Do you inject into the muscle or just into the dermis?
No, we're going into subdermal, just below the skin. So we're not going into the muscle at all. We're going to go into this, what we call the subdermis, just underneath the skin. There are some products that we can go down, not into the muscle, but along the bone. For instance, Radiesse, which is a hydroxyapatite. It has these little crystals. They're almost like bony crystals. We can actually get down and actually layer that right on the bone sometimes. Depends on what we're trying to do. For instance, if we're trying to cure a tear trough or something along those lines, we can do that. But typically the things that we're going to inject today are going to be just underneath the skin.
Okay. Here we go. Do you want to switch places? You want to...
Yeah, I'm going to switch places with you. And so we've got her marked up. That'll come off when we put the alcohol.
You look lovely, Barb.
So that's the plan for today.
And Barb did have BOTOX last week, so can you squint for me?
Oh, squint.
Yeah, so see, that was a week ago, and you can see how her BOTOX is already...
Now, Barb is complaining about her BOTOX because when she elevates her eyebrows, elevate for me, she still sees some wrinkles over here. So she wants me to put more BOTOX in there, and that's fine. We can do that. You can always put more. But here's the thing with Barb, and I warned her about this, and we talked about this when we put her BOTOX in. Barb has deep wrinkles here, but she also has very hollow eyes. So what we worry about is where her brow position is. And the more you paralyze this frontalis, the more those brows come down. Now the challenge on someone like her is that if you paralyze these lateral brows too much, guess what happens to her upper eyelid? It starts to hood. You start to see this hooding, so you want to be very careful about that. Now when she animates, you can see it, and that's what she doesn't like. But she's sitting there at rest right now. And at rest, if I paralyze that muscle, it's going to come down a little bit more. And she may like what she looks like when she animates, but when she's sitting at rest, she may not like what she looks like.
Whatever.
So that's the challenge with her. But what we'll do is perhaps maybe just give her a little bit of a touch up over here and here, and then I can tell her I told her so.
No, no, no.
But those are the kind of things you can think, everybody says, well, just, I got a wrinkle there. Just put some more BOTOX in there.
You're a total rock star.
Oh, bless you.
Okay, so let's start on this side, because it's closer to me. And the Voluma that we're going to put in actually has local anesthetic in it. So the first one gets a little ouchy. Okay. And then going beyond that, you'll be able to...
I'm not going to mention the person that's been commenting because I think she's supposed to be in class.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so remember this triangle. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from below, and I'm going to pinch, and that's going to help, and then we're just going to go right in under the dermis. We're going to aspirate because what we don't want to do is make sure that we're in a vessel, and then we're going to inject very slowly but forcefully. This is a thicker material. And I'm going to use today what's called a fanning technique. There's a couple different techniques you can inject with. And I can feel that product between my fingers, so I know exactly where I'm putting it.
This is Voluma.
This is Voluma. And I'm remembering that triangle that I drew. And I'm trying to limit how many sticks I use, so I'm fanning it like that.
And just for everyone out there, Voluma is $800 a syringe. So far today he'll be using 2 syringes of Voluma.
And then we'll move up a little bit more because I want to come in. Again, just aspirate, make sure we're okay. How's that feel, Barb?
Oh, I don't feel anything.
Does that have lidocaine in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's no pain.
And again, you want to start to look at little landmarks, like she's got a nice vessel there, so I'm going to try to miss that with everything I own. And then I can just spread that around and mold it a little bit. And we can start to see that filling up a little bit. We can come down and get these edges here so we have a smooth transition down into her cheek.
No, he did not use local to numb. It just has lidocaine in the product.
Right.
So she has had nothing prior to him injecting anything.
And you can get a little dot there where we're injecting. And I'm going to roll it around a little bit. And then I'm going to start out a little bit more laterally.
Now, is there any downtime to fillers?
You can get a little swelling from this, from the injection points. The number one problems that you get are some pain, maybe a little bruising at the injection point. We're injecting real slow and nice. And I want to trail this over along her cheekbone because that's the natural.
Katrina says, "Good job, Dr. Downs."
Oh, I feel much better now. But I think the key here is, again, there's some artistry involved, and you want to just mold it. And I'm going to use a little bit here just to fan that there, just to give her a nice transition into the cheek.
And bleeding is common, correct?
Yeah, it's just
A little bit,
punctate
yeah.
bleeding, and
Doesn't hurt at all.
You're gonna look beautiful, Barb.
Oh, I hope so.
and what I'm going to
Need
do
help.
now, when she smiles, look at her cheek, and look how nice that is compared to the other side. Smile for me. She has a nice
Nice little
swelling there. It's
swelling.
beautiful. And
Good.
it helps, and it pulls this area up and helps that. Now, I'm going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to put a little radius while I'm standing here, and then we can compare the two sides.
Okay.
And that's going to be real helpful.
And again, if you can look on her, I guess my left, maybe Barb's right, you can see the triangle that he drew with the white pencil, and then now he's injected.
Now, radius is a little bit different. It's a more of a white pasty material. It's got bony crystal in it, so it's very strong. It'll lift this area very nicely here. And we'll inject in a fanning technique along her inframammary fold here. I'm sorry, or not inframammary fold. You don't want that inframammary. Your nasolabial fold. Inframammary fold's different.
I know what you meant.
We were working on inframammary folds all morning, so. And then we can come down along here with this a little bit. And again, we're just in the subdermal plane.
Someone said, "Wow, you can see a difference."
Look at
You're
that.
going to love it, Barb.
Oh, I know I will.
Now, very subtle though, and we may be able to take a little bit more volume and put it right through this area here just as a transition. But look at the difference there between the two sides. And it's very subtle because we're not putting a lot in today. This is not a lot of material that we're putting in. I mean, we can always put more in, but you look and we can examine, we can say, okay, we need a little bit more through here. Yes, Kat, you were right. I was going to use more than one syringe.
For viewers out there,
They were arguing with me about how much I was going to use.
Oh, we didn't.
we like to give him a hard time when we can.
So we will just put a little bit extra in through here.
So price-wise, again, for everyone, Voluma's $800 a syringe and Radius is $900 a syringe. So he's already used almost a syringe and a half on her one side and Radius.
That's sad. We're not done.
So we're almost looking at 4 syringes of Voluma and 1 syringe of Radius at this point. For those that want to do the math. You're doing great, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just mold that around a little bit. But what, you know, with this type of product, it's kind of what you see is what you get. So when you start to, when you put those fillers in there, you don't overfill because it doesn't, it stays, it's very predictable.
It's not like sculpture where it goes
Where
down.
it goes away and then comes back, right? Now she may get a little tiny bruise there, no big deal, it's just a little point bruise. But what I want to show you is now the difference in the right side of her face versus the left side of her face. We've blunted this, we've given her a nice cheekbone, nice definition here. We've gotten rid of the nasolabial fold, and that looks wonderful. Now what I would do if I were advising Barb is come back then at a different setting and maybe put some Sculptra in through here that we know then over the next 6 months is going to
I'll be happy to.
Be creating collagen.
will improve her collagen situation there.
Okay.
So we might as well do the other side while we're at it because you just don't want to have one side.
Do you want to flip?
I'm going to inject from this side, it's fine.
Okay.
So I'm going to have her turn.
But we get like perfect view.
Yeah, I'll give a little bit better. So again, I have that triangle. I'm going to try to, I don't want to leave too much of the white stuff behind, but
Now, how large of a needle is this?
this is like a 30 gauge, a little bit.
Bigger than the
It's about a 30
BOTOX
gauge
needle?
Yeah, it's bigger than the BOTOX. Because you can't squeeze the gel through the little BOTOX needle.
And again, let's go over what is her downtime, or what she needs to do for recovery.
She might have a little bit of swelling from this, but really she could go back to work or do whatever she's doing. I just ask that she doesn't engage in any vigorous exercising for the next 24 hours.
Okay. Does she need to be icy?
We will send her out with some ice packs to help with the swelling. Okay, Barb, right up in here.
And how long does this type of filler last?
About a year.
Okay.
Sometimes longer. It all depends on where you inject it. The more movement, the less it lasts.
Mm-hmm. So again, for our patients, Voluma is $800 a syringe, and it lasts for up to a year. Very little downtime, maybe a little swelling, no exercise. So far, Barb has had we're on
23 syringes.
we're on the third syringe of Voluma, and she will be having a syringe of Radius. So, and Radius is $900. And how long does Radius last?
Radius lasts 2+ years.
Wow. So that could be why it has a higher price point, is because it lasts longer. So explain to me, because I'm not even quite sure, why does Voluma have a clear gel and Radius is more like a cream?
Well, this is a hyaluronic acid, so it's a gel. It's the hyaluronic acid is the same stuff that we find in it's called ground substance. It's in our cells. It's a very naturally occurring substance, and so it's a gel. It's a clear gel. Whereas the Radius, the white stuff, the whiteness to it is these particles, these crystals. It's called hydroxyapatite, and basically what that is, it's like ground up bone. It's not human bone. It's like manufactured. It's a crystalline type structure, and it's designed to be a particulate, which goes in and induces collagen. So it's white and pasty. That's exactly, and it's too thick and heavy to put in your lips. And then you see these white little granules you can put in your lips. So you want to keep it away from the lips.
So you're telling anyone that puts Radius in their lip to run?
Don't put Radius in the lips.
So how long would
molding.
this take? If a patient wanted to come in and have this done, like an hour?
No.
No, not an hour.
About half an hour to get
Half
this
hour?
injected.
Okay.
As you can see, we're almost finished.
So they could have this done on their lunch,
I have to admit
almost.
that now I'm going to have to eat crow for the rest of the day because we're going to use more than 2 syringes.
Well, just think how I feel.
Yeah. Well, you're happy now.
I'm
You're
happy.
yeah,
I'm
you're-
so happy.
But everybody's different. I mean, you know, it would be nice to have an exact amount that we knew we would inject and stick to it, but everybody's different.
Mm-hmm. And bleeding is common.
Yeah,
So
little at the injection site, and what we'll do is just a little pressure that usually controls it, and I'm just kind of massaging, seeing where else I need it.
So someone asked, like, what would you use around her lips? Since she kind of has little, you know. Like,
Yeah, well, it all depends. I
Sorry.
mean, yeah,
Sorry, Barb.
she's.
That's
well, we can
okay.
talk about lips because we did lips a couple times here in our
for videos.
video. You
I
know.
would love lips.
And we did sculpture.
Let's not get carried away here.
All right. I get it.
I told the viewers we're working our way down, Barb.
Well, the lips. Okay, so when we go to lips, we would go with something that's a little thinner, a little bit more of a smoother product. That's pretty good. Let's see, you got a little bit of a lump here that we'll massage out.
And it's good to is it good to like massage after having fillers
Well,
done?
once we really don't have to massage,
Okay.
but you know, I'm just kind of making sure I have the material where I want it. Once it's there and it incorporates, it's there.
So patients can have this done, and as long as they're not exercising, they can go home, have a shower.
Yeah.
You know, just
Put makeup on in about an hour.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so we'll put the radius on that side.
How are you doing, Barb?
I'm doing great.
Is your cheek numb?
My cheek feels great. I feel full.
Smile for me. Okay, so she's still smiling, but look how nice when she's smiling. This is beautiful. Yeah. So smile again. What I want everybody to look at is when she smiles now, the difference between that hollow and that hollow. See it? It's gone. This is nice from the radius here. It really does a beautiful job for her. It really rejuvenates the whole mid-face.
Smile, Barb.
Now on the lips, going back to the lips, we can use a hyaluronic acid gel, but it's going to be a thinner version of that, of this. And we usually will use like a Juvederm XC or something like that on the lips. And now they're coming out with a product called Volbella, which we can use as a even thinner, smoother and silkier.
Which we should have next week.
Yeah.
It just came out on the market, so that's pretty cool. So we'll have to maybe do another lips to show the new product.
Yeah, it really is cool because you can go up into those little vertical lines with it.
So do you recommend when patients come in that you would rather customize their...
Yeah, I mean, it's
Over
real
them
easy to come in and buy a
choosing-
package. It says, oh, I have 8 syringes of Perlane or Restylane or something along those lines, or Juvederm. But that's not necessarily means that's what you need. You have to really customize the product to what you're trying to do. And it's not always, one product is not always a panacea. It's not always the thing that you need for everything. So...
And for those viewers out there, to have
So
a
look at that now.
consultation...
I mean, I don't know if we have a before and after, but that looks, I mean, it
Yeah.
really looks good. It's very natural. She's not walking out of here looking like, you know, a gopher. She's very, you know, if she puts, I mean, I'm rubbing her, so she's got nice rosy cheeks now. But, I mean, if she put a little makeup on now and a little bit, she would be, there wouldn't be a lot of noticeability there. And there'll be a little swelling. We'll give her some ice packs and stuff. But for the most part, that's all there is to it. And what'd that take us? Maybe 30 minutes to get all that product in there? Doesn't take long.
And for those interested, again, consultation with Dr. Downs on the medical spa, there is a $50 holding fee. However, that $50 would go towards your services or products for that day.
Look how lifting up the cheek area straightens out the jawline.
Barb.
Only if you
Okay,
think so.
elevate for me. Now we're going to be real careful with her because, like I said, you're going to give me a different needle. We're just going to put a little bit here because she doesn't like this.
I like it. I just
Okay,
like it more.
Okay, relax. We're going to put maybe 2.5 cc's in there, or 2.5 in there. Elevate. Relax.
And this is BOTOX. To
Yeah,
let the
she's.
viewers know.
We're gonna,
So yeah, just think of the lips.
now I get to do your eyelids.
Oh. What? No.
So what we ought to do with her is, yeah, I mean, when the bulbella comes out, what we ought to do with her. So if you look at her upper lip, and this is another thing that happens as we age. The upper lip elongates.
It does.
It thins out here. We lose a little bit of filter columns. So what we would do with her is fill a couple of these vertical lines that she's got, and then we would volumize her upper lip a little bit.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Just a little bit, and then her lower lip, because the lower lip ought to be about 1.5 times the upper lip, and then just maybe accentuate her filter columns and maybe white roll. So after we get done with you, you're going to be.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you're going to look like you're
I'm
12.
so excited.
But look, look how natural that smile is though
I'm
now,
so
and how the cheeks
excited.
look, how good the cheeks look. They're full and they're volumed.
thank
It looks
you.
really, really nice. So yeah, that's kind of fillers 101, but we have all kinds of different fillers, and again, we have Sculptra, and we have Juvederm products, and we have different hyaluronic acid products. They're all designed. They're all tools in the toolbox. So it's not like everything is, you have a hammer, everything's a nail. There's so many different products out there, and it's not to be confusing, but what's really cool about it is the fact that we can really customize an injectable treatment for a face no matter what it is you're coming in to do. And it really works out beautifully. And for her, again, we use some BOTOX, we use a little Voluma, we use a little Radiesse here, we probably use a little Volbella in the lips. And this is something that is enabling us to, bring back the artistry, if you will, of facial fillers. And you look great. That looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it wasn't terrible, was it?
No, I had no pain.
Good. And for the most part, these are tiny little needles. It's a very, very comfortable type of treatment. So
Thank you.
You did great. You really
Thank
did.
you.
You can feel the product in there a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
hey.
it's not, it looks very natural.
Thank you.
Good. So
All
that's
right.
it. Yeah. Questions? You guys just give us a call. I think next week what are we doing next week?
Well, we gotta announce our raffle winner.
Plus we have a raffle winner.
Yep.
Oh, do I get to announce?
Yeah.
All right. Who's our raffle winner? And what do they win? What's the prize?
It's a $50 Visa gift card.
Is that what this is?
Mm-hmm.
Jody Adams.
So
So she's watching today. Give us a thumbs up. But that's your Visa gift card. It's waiting for you here. So congratulations on that.
And you have an announcement to make.
Oh, Striolite. I know we've talked about this before. Striolite has been FDA cleared, and it is the first device designed for home use, a home medical device aimed at the temporary reduction of those red pesky stretch marks. There's nothing out there like it. If you get on Google, you're going to find it, but you'll also, prior to Striolite, you'll find creams and lotions and scrubs and coffee scrubs and sugar scrubs and you name it. So we developed Striolite. It's out there. It's available to you. But the exciting news about this is that on Tuesday night at Tuesday Night Beauty on QVC, yours truly will be there, and I think we start at 9:20, and we're going to be talking a lot about Striolite on QVC on their new finds segment of Tuesday Night Beauty. So we are very, very excited about that, and hopefully not too many people will laugh at me being on national television, but it'll be fun, and everybody will learn a lot about Striolite, and so tune into that and watch. That'll be fun. If nothing more, you'll have a good laugh. But anyway, yeah, we're excited about that, so we're all headed out to Westchester, Pennsylvania to visit QVC, and that'll be fun. We'll see how it goes.
Yep. Is there anything else? That's all you got? That's
Come
all you
visit
got
us
for
at
this
the
Friday?
center. Come visit us at the Center Yourself Med Spa. We have a great staff here that are just waiting to help make you look better,
Or
feel
Center
better,
Easy.
be better. Okay. Good.
Oh, someone said make sure you get a manicure, Dr. Downs.
I will.
All right, guys, so that's it for our Facebook Friday. Again, we did dermal fillers, so if you are looking for that, the Voluma was $800 a syringe and the Radius was $900. She did have 4 syringes of Voluma and 1 Radius, so you guys do the math, because that's not my big thing. And a reminder, again, tune in to QVC on Tuesday at 9 p.m. during our beauty segment. Dr. Downs will be there for QVC, which is really exciting. Unfortunately, because of QVC, we do not have a live Facebook Friday next Friday. But, however, I will be out there with them and we're going to do a live Facebook at QVC. So make sure you turn in Tuesday night, live Facebook at our Facebook page at QVC, but we won't be having one then following Friday. Have a great weekend, guys. Give us a call, 574-968-3510 if you're interested in dermal fillers with Dr. Downs or any of his staff injectors, 574-968-3510. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.